Hi everybody, I'm Elisabeth Coleman. I'm one of the voice teachers here at Hammer Strings. I wanted to hop on and just say hi to you all, introduce myself a little bit. I've been singing since I was a teenager. I've been teaching for a really long time, and I've had a lot of really great voice teachers. One thing that always stays pretty consistent with my teaching and with my learning, with my own voice lessons, is breathing. I talk a lot about breathing in my voice lessons, and I talk a lot about breathing with my personal voice teachers because breath is so important to singing. So I wanted to talk about a few things that people might get confused about when we breathe, things that are going to help us a little bit as we're singing, and things that are going to help you to use your breath a little bit more efficiently. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the initial breath, the actual inhale that starts before you sing. You've probably had a choir teacher or a voice teacher in the past that says, breathe with your diaphragm, don't move your shoulders, keep everything down here, keep everything low. Well, that's all fine and well. Your diaphragm actually does sit underneath your ribs, but your diaphragm does not contain air. Your diaphragm is a muscle that moves up and down to help your lungs suck in and release air. So what a teacher actually means when they say breathe with your diaphragm is to engage that muscle and let it start working. We get into habits where we start breathing really high. And you'll see a lot of athletes breathe to the point where their shoulders are coming up and down, going up and down. And that's a habit that we get into. I don't think it's natural. I don't think we want it to be that way. And so you'll see a lot of voice teachers say, okay, now when you breathe, don't move your shoulders. Well, that's a good start. But it goes beyond just not moving your shoulders. What we really want is for the feeling of the breath to be dropping down into your stomach, which again is not possible because your lungs are still what contain the air, but you want that feeling of dropping as you breathe. And the way that you can find that feeling is to put your hands right at the base of your rib cage. I usually have my students do this, and if we're comfortable with it, I'll come and let them feel what happens on me. But what you want to do is, as you take your initial breath, and we're going to breathe 4 times. We're going to breathe in for 4 beats, and then we're going to breathe out for 4 beats. And every single time you breathe, as you go in, you want to feel the bottom of that rib cage start to expand. And as you breathe out, you want to feel the bottom of that rib cage start to release. So for 4 times for 4 beats, we're going to breathe and exhale. And you should have felt the bottom of your rib cage start to expand and release. It might not be very much if this is a new concept to you, or it might have been a lot if you're an experienced singer. But just do it with me one more time. Breathe in for 4 beats and out for 4 beats. And this time really focus on that rib cage. Ready? Inhale. And now that you're noticing it a little bit more, you might have felt the bottom of that rib cage go out and then back in. Okay, really great way to actually fill up those lungs even more and to use a lot more breath than you've ever been able to use before. Another way to use your breath a little bit more efficiently is to actually, as you're singing, allow yourself to use your breath. Don't feel like you have to conserve air as you're singing, especially if you're getting to a long phrase. Too many times we get to a phrase where it just lasts longer than we're comfortable with, and we think, oh my goodness, I have to conserve my air. But what that's actually doing is that's constricting your airflow so that you're going to feel like you have to breathe more. So the trick for breathing, for singing those longer phrases, is to allow yourself to use that breath. So instead of a thin kind of restricted sound, instead of you're going to get a really free sighing sound. So that you have a lot more efficiency and a lot more freedom in the sound. And you'll notice that the second note that I sing my vibrato started to come in because I was freeing up all of those muscles that allow me to be able to use freedom of sound. There are a lot of really mechanical, scientific concepts that go into singing, especially into breathing. I don't use a lot of the science, I use a lot of visuals. But if you have questions, you are free to comment here and to email me. Again, my name is Elizabeth, and it was a lot of fun making this video. Thank you.